Good evening, people. Hopefully you can hear me all okay. Just wait for a few to join in. The notification should have just gone out. As you can see, we've got a little window there with your chat that goes in. So I look in between the two screens. Obviously, I'm looking at you guys at the moment. Cheers. Here's happy Thursday, everybody. I'm beginning to lose track of what day of the week it is, but I am reliably informed via my PC that it is Thursday. Friday tomorrow. A great exciting day of the week, but more on to more pressing matters. Just wait for a few more to join in because we've got a bit of a debate going on this evening. As you know, the last debate we did was all about David Icke and lizard people and a couple of his conspiracy theories that he talks about. Now, as you know, that is quite a big thing to delve in because he covers all sorts of stuff. So we only touched on that, but it was a good stream. People enjoyed it, and the idea behind this is I then ask people, hi Dave, how are you? Got Denise in. Now Denise, a big shout out to you because you are my 100th follower. So very well done. As you know, this is a new thing I'm doing, bit of Twitch streaming. So congratulations Denise, thank you. Oh, Josh is in. Got a bit of neck. Right, okay. It's weird with a view account because it drops in and out constantly because it refreshes every sort of 5 or 10 minutes. So anyway, so tonight's discussion is all about, is Elvis dead? This one was suggested by Bill, also called Crazy. I don't think he's in yet. I don't think he's joined us yet. He should be here shortly. Mini Cooper Denise is Dave, I believe. Although, is that his mysterious secret ID? Could be a complete stranger, who knows? And anyway, so I asked the last people who watched the last one, I said, what should we cover next? And I had a lovely message off Bill, and he said, I love conspiracy theories and stuff. And he said, I think you should do, he suggested two, but the one of them was this, is Elvis really dead? Okay. So where I've got some videos to show you, and how it generally works is I sit, I drink, I analyse the video footage, and I pause it every now and then and I just talk a bit and we just fucking shoot the piss out of it in a nutshell. But I've got a bit of a debate from a TV show that was broadcast in probably the very late 80s, maybe even the early 80s or very late 70s from America, Home and Hamburger, and they talk about is Elvis really dead? And obviously it was a bit more in the mainstream media then at that point, so it could be interesting. But anyway, we're going to watch a bit of this, and then I've got a few video clips of sightings of Elvis to help convince you either way, okay? And then I'll ask you at the end, we'll look at the evidence and we'll base the evidence, and then we'll make a decision, a good decision about how do we believe Elvis is still alive, or is he actually dead? All right. It'd be a bit old by now, but hey, you just don't know. You just don't know. He might be a lizard person, as David Icke was talking about. These lizards are genuinely sort of famous people and stuff. So anyway, right, this first video, like I say, is a very old video, so it's the sound on it is not as high. So I've dropped my voice, so you might have to turn your sound up a little bit. But without further ado, let's begin with, is Elvis alive?
I'd like to introduce you to Monty Nicholson, an investigator with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department and author of The Presley Arrangement. Monty Nicholson. Welcome, Monty.
This guy knows what he's talking about. Trust me. Look at him.
First question, Monty, do you think there's a remote possibility that Elvis could still be alive?
Based on what I've seen so far, I think the possibility is very real.
All right. Now, Monty, you're a member in good standing with the law enforcement community, so aren't you a little concerned about what your colleagues might say?
Well, of course, I do take some teasing from my peers.
Fuck me, he's only a police officer in America. I'd get teased by my peers. Fucking no shit, Sherlock, mate. You imagine going, Elvis lives. Fucking hell. Anyway, let's see. So he's actually got a bit of credential, this fella. He's a police officer of the United States, so he ain't just any old clown they picked up off the street.
But they know that this is something I do outside my career of law enforcement. I just
That's key there, right? So as he's just said, right, this is something he does outside of law enforcement. So basically this is a hobby. He's not paid by law enforcement to study this, all right? Here we go.
Try to do things thorough enough to dispel any real criticism.
All right. When I visited with you some weeks ago, we discussed your views on the discrepancies surrounding Elvis's death.
Here we go, folks. This is, shit's
The
getting
story
real.
released to the public said Elvis died in his bathroom and was discovered by his girlfriend, Ginger Alden.
Ginger Alden. Now that's not a Hollywood name, is it? My God, I wonder what career Ginger was in.
Supposedly, the authorities were notified and resuscitation attempts were continued until Elvis's body was removed. Contrary to what one would expect, a house in disarray and emotional upheaval, speculation has it that not only were the bedroom and bathroom cleaned up, but Ginger Alden, prior to the arrival of the authorities, took the time to get dressed and gain her composure.
So hang on, Elvis has died. This is Ginger. This is obviously, Bill, just to let you know, this isn't actual footage of the morning when, or afternoon or evening, when Elvis was found dead, buddy, all right? This is, and welcome, Bill, cheers. This is a reenactment, all right, and her name is Ginger. That's his bird at the time, all right, Elvis's bird. So he's died, Elvis has died, so Ginger's got up, thought, fuck me, the boyfriend's dead, Elvis is dead. Shit. Bollocks, there's going to be a lot of fucking press and police in that round. I'll go and do my makeup.
If Elvis died in the morning, how is it possible that he could be getting on a helicopter later that day without being observed?
So not only did Elvis die that morning, he was travelling in a fucking helicopter later on that day.
Well, Bill, I'm not sure that he wasn't observed.
Why are you not sure of that?
In 1977, Monty was contacted by a man who claimed he worked for Elvis. He also claimed to have taken 2 photos of Elvis boarding a helicopter with government agents after the time of his alleged death. Upon seeing the photos, Monty became intrigued by the possibility that Elvis may have faked his death. He contacted the man with the photos. At first, he denied having them. Then he changed his mind, adding, "It will cost you to see them again." Monty arranged a meeting with him and went to the address he gave, only to find a vacant house. That man has since disappeared.
Mate, so this guy had photos. He arranged to go and hook up with these pictures. Fuck me, he weren't there.
Inspired by this incident, Monty decided to write the Presley arrangement, which tells the story of how Elvis may have faked his own death.
So actually, no, bullshit, mate. He didn't decide to go and write the Presley arrangement. He thought, fuck me, it's a bit of a story here. I can earn a few notes, bit of wallah. I'm going to go after this. So off he went, typewriter in hand, cup of coffee, going to write a book.
The Presley arrangement was published and placed in a major bookstore chain.
What
Strangely
was
enough, soon after the book started to sell, it also started to disappear.
I wonder if he's also published in the Beano and Whizzer and Chips.
Monty continued to research and write about the mystery concerning the death of Elvis. He was contacted by Gail Brewer Giorgio. During his first conversation, he learned that Gail's book, Orion, had also disappeared from the bookstore shelves.
Fuck me. So this guy has wrote 2 massive bestsellers that a major chain have taken on, like Waterstones or whatever, whichever was around at that time. And both of his titles have either A, sold out and the bloke's earned a fucking lot of money, or B, the government have had him away.
Gail and Monty exchanged information for several months. They concluded that their books may have been suppressed by the same people.
Bill, you know someone who claims to have seen Elvis at an airport. Fuck, which airport was it? Just out of interest, was it in this country? Get back to me on that, thank you. And feel free, chaps, chip her in with a conversation. Like I say, during these pauses, I'll jump in and out of the convo, and we'll see where we're going with this.
I don't mean to be callous when I say this, but isn't it possible that the book just didn't sell?
Of course, and it's always possible any book wouldn't sell.
Shit.
I called my publicist, and I asked him about this problem. I said, you know, I have friends that are going into the bookstores and asking for my book, and they're being told that they can't even order it. Yet you tell me it's still in the catalog of books in print. He said in 35 years in the publishing business, he'd never heard of such a thing.
I'd love to know who his fucking publicist was.
There were other discrepancies surrounding Elvis's death. First, in March of 1977, before Elvis died, 2 life insurance policies were cashed in. A secret personal checking account was emptied out shortly before Elvis Presley died. The amount? Close to $1 million. And perhaps most odd, some claim that the signature on Elvis's death certificate matches Elvis's own handwriting.
We asked handwriting analyst Paul Wiest to look at these signatures, and here were his thoughts.
I was asked by Gail Gorgio to examine some handwriting of Elvis Presley. She supplied me with a copy of a letter written to President Nixon in 1970 and the death certificate or medical examiner's report at the time of his reported death. I examined these 2 documents and compared them by measuring the slant of the handwriting, the spacing between the letters, spacing between the words, the size of the letters, and the individual letter formations. I also made transparent photocopies where I could lay one photocopy, a transparent copy on top of another one for close comparison.
That's a bloody good idea, isn't it? Photocopy it, lay the plastic over and match it up that way. And this guy's an expert. I'm sure I've seen him in primary schools in Kent teaching handwriting to kids. This guy fucking knows what he's talking about.
I examined these under transmitted light with a light table. The result of my examination was that I found that the slant matched on both documents, that the size of the letters was the same, the spacing between the letters was the same, and many of the individual letter forms were the same. My conclusions after this exhaustive examination was, and my profession...
Fucking exhausted examination. Fucking exhaustive. Right, 10 minutes?
...opinion as a document examiner, that the same person who wrote the letter to President Nixon also wrote the Elvis Presley death certificate or medical examiner's report of Elvis Presley's death.
So there we go, folks. So far the evidence we have is this expert, a guy who studies handwriting and teaches in lots of primary schools across Kent, knows what he's talking about. Right, okay, let's find out what that airport was, Bill. Okay, sorry, it wasn't not from me, it's from a podcast. Apparently booked a one-way ticket from Memphis International Airport to Buenos Aires. He went off to South America. You know who else ran off to South America, don't you? The Nazis. So in fact, they all ran off to South America, that's fact. And they were hunted down. Not all of them were caught, though.
So far, we have addressed the possibility that Elvis might not have passed away when everyone thought he did.
No, he didn't.
Now, let's assume for a moment that that's true, and that he is alive. It stands to reason that someone, somewhere, would have encountered him. Gail, why don't you tell us how you became involved in this case?
Well,
So they're now hooking up with people who might have encountered Elvis. So, has this bird encountered him? Let's find out.
I, like the rest of the world, heard the news that Elvis Presley died at the age of 42. And I was shocked.
Elvis was only 42 when he died. I suppose because I was quite a bit younger, obviously, when he died. And, mate, that's quite a shock, wasn't it, really? Fucking hell. That's no age, is it? Poor sod.
When I heard that Elvis Presley had died, I was amazed. It seemed that almost overnight a very mortal man was deified.
Bill, sorry to pause the video, but just to let you know, this footage we're seeing now is not real. This is dramatised. It's acted.
My curiosity led me to write the novel Orion, a fictitious...
Oh, fucking hell, here we go again. Here's another one. I thought she was genuine coming forward. Oh, I'm a big Elvis fan, all that. I wrote a novel. Fuck me, did anyone do anything else in the 1970s or 80s except for write books? I hope her sells a few more than the last clown who wrote a couple of books on him. Fucking hell, he's disappeared off the shelves and they weren't due to sales.
A story about a singer who was a prisoner of his fame. A man who ended up hoaxing his own death. The book was sold to a major publisher. A sizable advance was received, as well as a promise of extensive promotion. After the book was released, I began receiving calls that the books were rapidly disappearing under very strange circumstances.
I think there's a whole new conspiracy theory here all about disappearing books in America. Fucking hell. Maybe the government forces were burning them like the Nazis burnt the Bibles back in the day. Hey, the truth will out.
More than one store reported that men in business suits came in and purchased the books in quantities.
Men in business suits come in and purchased all the books. Fucking shrewd businessmen. I'll tell you what, they run Facebook. That was Mark Zuckerberg, mate. He went in, bought all the books, sold them on. Look where he is now. And Bill Gates.
And that once they were gone, the stock was never replenished, which is a very strange business practice. My repeated calls to the publisher were ignored, my questions unanswered.
You just imagine the publicist, fucking his secretary. I've got that bird who wrote them books on the line. I'm fucking hell. Tell her I'm busy. I'm in a meeting. She couldn't get hold of him. Fucking, yeah, there's more to that story. That's a whole story in itself right there.
Meanwhile, as I was investigating the mysterious disappearance of my book, the media and many of the fan clubs were questioning the death of Elvis Presley. Several fans brought to my attention the fact that Elvis's middle name was misspelled on his grave at Graceland. This and other discrepancies led me to write, Is Elvis Alive? I was then contacted by Monty Nicholson, a veteran investigator with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, who had written a book called The Presley Arrangement, which focuses on Elvis faking his death. Monty and I compared notes and found that despite never having heard of each other, our information was almost identical.
Fucking
My
hell.
appearances on radio and television shows led to many phone calls, leads, lots of new information.
Now, how many, please, in our audience have been to Graceland? May we see some hands? Ooh, quite a number of.
Question for you guys there at home. How many of you have been to Graceland? I haven't. I'd like to. I think it'd be interesting, you know, go and see where Elvis lived. But again, is it just me or is it these people just profiteers? You know what I mean? Coming in there with all that old bollocks. Oh, my book mysteriously disappeared. It's sold out. Yeah, fuck off, did it? It was shit, mate. Right, let's read some of the comments. Let's have a look. He was living with Ronnie Biggs. Mate, could have been. I think I'd do a picture book about his life in Kent. Yeah, that would work. And Bill, apparently it was Manston Airport. Which is now a lorry park. Right, okay. Major book thief, yeah, fucking hell. Major big deep pockets to steal that amount of books, according to these clowns. I think it all links back to the Illuminati. I have to tell you guys, they're watching Bill, who's crazy K98, loves his conspiracy theories, as we all do. I mean, I quite enjoy this conspiracy theory, but to be honest, at the moment, I'm not going to give my opinions yet. But anyway, let's get back to the evidence.
All right. What would you think if you'd visited Graceland, taken some typical tourist pictures, and then in the privacy of your living room, noticed what seemed to be the face of Elvis Presley staring right out at you? I think you'd get very excited. Well, this is precisely what happened to a man named Mike Joseph on New Year's Eve Day, December 31st, 1977.
Fuck me. We are about to see some real deep shit right now. Honestly, it's going down.
Now, recently, Mike was interviewed about the events leading up to this amazing picture. Let's watch.
It was New Year's Eve, 77, when I took my wife and my son and my nephew down to Graceland. They had just opened up Memory Gardens where Elvis was laid to rest. And we were there for an hour, and we left back for home. Had the pictures developed, and looked at them, put them away. One day after reading a book, I decided to look at my pictures again. I pulled them out, and this time I saw something in one of the pictures that I hadn't seen. My God, I had Elvis Presley sitting in the doorway.
Fucking hell. The guy has photographed Elvis Presley, who is apparently dead. If you're anything like me now, you're itching to see that picture. Let's go. Sorry, I'll read the comments in a minute. This picture cannot wait.
Looking out at the fans walking past his grave. I've had the negative examined by Kodak. And Kodak basically says that they are original. They have not been tampered with in any way. They were taken in sequence, uncut by the negatives, being original. They can tell. The emulsion number of the film was manufactured in 77. Each roll of film that is manufactured has a manufacturing date on it in the emulsion number. This is the shot that I took of the people walking and the bathhouse in the distance. We zero in here, and this is the same shot with just the chair. No one sitting in the chair. So that shows it was not a picture of someone sitting in the chair.
Right, so he's at Graceland, he's taken these photos, and it's months later after his visit, he's had them developed or whatever, as we used to back in them days, kids. We couldn't have none of these fucking instant pictures and all that bollocks. We had to go and take it in and wait 3 or 4 days. That's why there's very little porn around at the time. But anyway, so this guy had his pictures done and he's going through them. So he's got this picture here and he's talking about someone in a chair, but I can't see anyone in a chair.
This is my son once again blocking the doorway. And
poor son, fucking hell, looks as miserable as fuck, doesn't he? Look at him. He's got a Rory the Tiger from Haven holiday camp with him, but he's like, fucking hell, Dad, come on, can we go home now? I fucking can't stand Elvis.
Towards the picture where I first spotted the silhouette in the doorway.
Here we go. Fucking hell! Fucking Elvis. Elvis was sat in a chair in his house looking out at the punters, paying money to come and look around his garden. Fucking hell. So that now beggars the question, was that Elvis or was that Elvis's ghost? Fucking shit. This is amazing stuff. I'm coming to the comments now. Oh, man, right, shit. Oh, mate. Josh, fuck off. This is stupid. It ain't stupid, Josh. This is real good shit going on now. Nicolette's giggling. She can't believe it. Oh, there's someone knocking his door in. Oh, fucking shit. He's alive. Elvis is alive. Oh, bollocks. What you said here, Bill? I read as well. Sorry, I composed myself, Bill. Right, okay. Bill was read another theory as well. He was in Home Alone in the background, right? Bill, that's fucking true. When I was looking these video clips up, I saw that. Oh, fucking
All right.
shit.
How many of you think that Mike Joseph photographed Elvis Presley? May we see some hands? Well, perhaps the most convincing
Raise your
piece of
hands.
evidence that suggests that Elvis may still be alive is the mystery audio tape. Now let's take a brief listen before we continue.
It does look like him. Fucking does, doesn't it?
Time, I had a beard and I lost a few pounds. And I thought it would be very, very hard for anyone to recognize me.
Elvis. Oh, fucking hell. I'm sorry, right? So they found this audio tape, this secret audio tape that Elvis has left, I don't know, fucking lying around. I don't know. What do you do with audio back then? Oh, fuck. Right. So they've found an audio tape, and at the time, this is Elvis's talking, not me. I had a beard and I'd lost a few pounds. Well, fuck me, he was a bit of an heavyweight when he went, wasn't he? And I thought it would be very hard for anyone to recognise me. Yeah, it's because of weight loss, mate. It's nothing to do with a beard.
All right, this tape was released to the general public in Gail Giorgio's book, Is Elvis Alive? Now, at the time, the origin of the tape was unknown. But since the publication of that book, new information has been uncovered. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce Maria Columbus, the president of the oldest Elvis Presley fan club.
I fucking got to applaud this bird coming on now. The oldest president of an Elvis Presley fan club. Fucking shit. Let's see what she makes of all this.
Hi, Maria.
Mate, check her out. Bill. She looks a bit fucking nervous then. You see her eyes? Ooh.
Okay. Now, Maria, will you please tell us about the tape?
Okay. I received this tape in 1981 from Steve Chances from Florida. He had written a book called Elvis, Where Are You?
He'd written a fucking Elvis book. Well, of course he had. What had anyone else done back then? Oh, shit. This is fucking brilliant. I'm sorry, I'm getting out of the comments. I need to compose myself. Oh, dear. It does look like him. Yeah, it fucking did. It was him. It fucking was him, Nick. That's why. Oh, shit. This is priceless. You ain't wrong there, mate. He lost a few pounds. Yeah, poor sod. The fan club is involved. He must be alive. I'm with you on that one, buddy. Them lot wouldn't lie. She don't look that old. I like her barnet. I think she done her barnet. Oh, they love their books. Fucking hell, don't they just? It's all books. Bill, what do you think, buddy? Dave, come on, you're a bit of an Elvis fan. What do you think of all this? Oh, let's get back to it.
No, on this tape, you only hear Elvis speaking. The person he was speaking to was edited out.
Yes, I noticed. I noticed that. Well, part of it was edited out. Why would anyone edit out one of the parts of the conversation? That sounds sort of suspicious to me.
Yes, that's suspicious to me too. The only thing...
I'll tell you one thing. We can't go on together with suspicious minds.
I think of is that the person
Sorry.
did not want to be recognized. But I believe it is Elvis speaking.
Curiouser and curiouser. All right, we brought in an audio analyst to find out if the voice on the tape is, in fact, that of Elvis Presley.
Have 2 years of sobering Army life changed your mind about rock and roll?
Uh-huh.
Sobering Army life?
Uh-huh.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't changed my mind because I was in tanks for a long time, you see. And they rock and roll quite a bit.
Fuck me, Elvis was a comedian in his time, wasn't he? I was in tanks at the time and he rock and roll. Fucking... Oh, mate, this is great.
I started traveling all over the world. And it's been enjoyable, but it's been a constant battle of growing beards and this and that to keep from being recognized.
Right, the next bit of footage from the mystery fucking message Elvis has left the world. I started travelling all over the world, but it's been enjoyable. All right, fair enough, Elvis. But it's been a constant battle of growing a beard and this and that to keep from. Oh fucking! It's been a constant. Right, you're Elvis Presley, okay? You're at the top of your game. You're 42. You're a fucking leg end. You know what I mean? You're the biggest star in the world, and you fake your own death, according to these people, so you go and travel the world and grow a beard. We'll come to the comments. Fucking hell. Oh right. Them lot wouldn't lie. No, you're right there, Josh. Oh, she don't look that old. They love their books, Europe. Yeah, I think you should write a book as well, Dad. I think I will, buddy. I could do one. I think I might have a guest author on board, my man Bill, so we can do The Conspiracy of the Conspiracies. There's a title right there. Oh, very good, Dave. I'm crying now. Mate, crazy. Bill's loving it. He loved the limelight. It's a battle because he can't grow a beard. Oh, since when did the bloke have a fucking battle growing a beard? Yeah, let's do it. Right, Bill, we'll sort that out. Oh, fucking hell. Here we go. We can go on together, growing beards.
Who was recorded during that 1981 phone conversation? Was it Elvis Presley? One way we can find out is to utilize some tools from law enforcement to electronically contrast and compare the voice of the real Elvis Presley and the voice on the tape. L.H. Williams works with a major police department in Texas and is an expert on audio voice prints, and here is his report.
Fuck me. This guy must just trawl the states of America visiting police stations. You know anyone who knows anything about audio? You got anyone there who knows anything about missing books? Oh yeah, I'd like to report a missing book. Oh, here it goes. The expert
had sent me a copy of a transcript of the tape recording.
the voice in the tape recording sounds similar to this bloke talking now.
Of the unknown person. And this was 4 pages long. In this process, I also requested copies of known tape recordings of Elvis Presley, and I followed the guidelines that were established during the Watergate case for possible authentication of the tape recording. I selected the same words and phrases of the known and the unknown person for comparison purposes. This is the known sample of Elvis Presley stating the word music.
Right, Bill, just so you know, these are sort of lines for audio. This ain't a picture of Elvis or his ghost.
This is a sample from the unknown tape recording showing the word music. The formats that were formed fall within the same frequency range through here, which would indicate a match. Basically, the known voice of Elvis Presley compared with the voice on this tape is the same.
I fucking loved the way he did there. You see, he paused. It's the same. Fucking hell. Is it me or has he got a bit of a bent nose? I think he's been slapped a few times.
Now let's assume for a second.
No, let's not assume anything, pal. Let's just fucking move on with your evidence.
That this test conclusively proves that Elvis made this recording. Can we be sure that it was made after 1977? We've made a transcription of the recording, and we marked down specific things that the caller said. If any one of these comments describes events that happened after Elvis's alleged death, then the argument that he might still be alive is stronger.
Right. That concludes the first video. So, we've all had a chance to look at the evidence that this guy has put forward to us from his experts. I mean, he had an expert there who took the... So let's look at the evidence, all right? So we've got the last thing there, the audio thing, and this guy who's the expert in audio said, yeah, it's the same voice. So Elvis, who was leaving messages on people's, I don't know, fucking answer machines, tape answer machine, whatever, about the worries and problems of growing beards. Yes, you heard that right, about growing beards, the stresses and strains of growing beards whilst travelling the world. His voice was the same as Elvis's. So Elvis actually left a real voice recording telling about the pains and anguish of beard growing. The next bit of evidence we had was the photograph, and to me this was the most compelling bit of evidence we've seen so far. The photograph of Elvis in his home after his death, this is in Graceland, which is now at this point it's no longer Elvis's home. It's a museum and a bit of a shrine, and people pay to go and walk around there, so someone's profiteering. And this bloke took some photos, and in the photos got developed. He looked at them later on, and Elvis was sat in a chair looking out at him. Elvis was wearing the shades. He had the SIDS going on. His beard weren't looking too good then, right? So he weren't working on his beard at that point. And the other evidence is mainly come from people who wrote books, disappearing books that sold so fucking few that you can't find a copy for man or beast, man. They're not out there anymore. So we're going to come to the comments. So that's what we've got so far, all right? Oh, dear. Is that guy David Banner? Right, I tell you what, thank you for saying that, Dave. I was looking at it, and you know when you keep saying in the back of your head, fucking hell, I know that man. Who is that? David Banner, that was the one. Fucking Hulk. Urgh, don't make me angry. Yeah, good shout. Thank you, buddy. Come on, Denise. What do you think? I don't know if Denise has dropped out. I don't know if she's had I think she had a council meeting she was saying about it, so Denise is there or not, I'm not sure. But it would be interesting to know, because as you say, Denise, you did work for the police, so I'm sure you come across a good conspiracy theory or 28. What am I looking at here? I could draw a few lines. Okay, well, Josh is on the fence, by the sounds of things. He's no, because before this, I did say to Josh, I said, I'm not giving my opinion yet. I said, is Elvis dead? And he went, fucking course he's dead. But now, because of this evidence, he's now questioning himself. Oh, I love the details he going into. Yeah, he does go into some fucking major shit. This is part 2 of the investigation, so I skipped part 1. Oh, dear. The photo's 100% real. I couldn't believe it. I believe. See, that photograph has proven to Josh, and it's changed his opinion. So there's your evidence right there that Elvis does live because of that photograph that we saw. But also, what I found interesting was the man who found that photograph, the Kodak photograph. We can go back and look at the photo in a minute. I found that the guy who looked at the photograph and he took it to Kodak for them. Now, not being rude, right? Back in the day when I used to go and get people used to go and get photographs. What's the word? Processed or whatever, you know what I mean? Give them the reel of film and then go back and then make them into pictures, as if by magic. And they put stickers on telling you you're a fucking shit photographer, you're crap, try do something else. Anyway, and you just go and hand the film to the person behind the counter. I reckon the bloke who took that film, who had it done by experts, analysed by experts, I reckon he just fucking spoke to the bird behind the counter who he handed the film to and said, yeah, she's an expert. She told me there's no faking that. So, you know, he just fucking is alone. But one thing about that bloke as well, the photo is brilliant because it's evidence right there. But when they're interviewing him, he's a member of Joe Public, but the way he's looking into the camera and he looks a bit made up and everything, and he's fucking like tanned and all that. And he's a wannabe actor, mate, and he's just after a bit of publicity, maybe. I'm not saying he is, I'm not saying he isn't, but maybe. So if we look at that little bit of footage again in a minute, we'll see. Well, back to the comments. Oh, hi Denise, good to see you back. I work for Kodak in America. They never faked anything. See, so there we go. We've got it first hand. So the photograph is looking like the most important piece of evidence at the moment. Right, so Denise, I think he's still alive and a councillor of Swale. Check out the members. Well, you say that. He's got to end up somewhere, ain't he? He might have gone into you know, I don't want to do mainstream politics, but I quite fancy a bit of sort of localised politics. Right, I've got some other clips after this one. They're not as long as this one. This was the bulk of the discussion point, which we'll come to in a minute. But I just want to quickly scan back and just find that bloke with the photograph. That's the reenactment. Where's the bloke with the photos? He was the handwriting jobby. I think we've got to go forward a bit. Here we go. We're nearly there. I want this is him. This is the fucking handwriting fella. Right, let's press play again. Just
Very
a couple of
exciting.
instances.
Well, this is precisely what happened to a man named Mike Joseph on New Year's Eve Day, December 31st, 1977. Now, recently,
Right.
Mike was interviewed about the events leading up to this amazing picture. Let's watch.
Right, just analyse. Look at Mike.
It was New Year's Eve '77 when I
Listen to the music. Doo.
took my wife and my son and my nephew down to Graceland. They had just opened up Memory Gardens where Elvis was laid to rest. And we were there for...
Right, had a picture of him a while ago with his son who looked as miserable as fuck and was like, get me out of here, I just want to fucking go home and watch, I don't know, a Betamax videotape. And here it is with some different kid again.
For an hour, and we
Cozying up there outside Elvis's house.
left back for home.
Here he is, look, that other kid that's pissed right off.
Had the pictures developed and looked at them, put them away. One day
He's a fucking actor. Look at him.
after reading a book, I decided to look at my pictures again. I pulled them out,
I hope that's all you pulled out, mate.
and this time I saw something in one of the pictures that I hadn't seen. My God, I had Elvis Presley sitting in the doorway.
That is a quote in itself right there. Oh my God, I had Elvis Presley sitting in a doorway. Fuck me. Amazing.
Looking out at the fans walking past his grave.
And look at the way he emphasised that. And here we go, it's the letter to Nicolette from Kodak. Because if you notice, I read it there, it says, yeah, you handed the film over to one of our staff members. She was on the shop floor at the time. She said it looked like a great roll of film and there's nothing false about this. It was definitely Elvis.
I've had the negatives examined by Kodak. And Kodak basically says that they are original. They have not been tampered with in any way. They were taken
Hang about.
in sequence, uncut.
I'm just looking at the date on that letter. That said 1987. And he had these photos taken in 1970 something, he said.
By the negatives.
Took him a fucking long time to look it up, didn't it?
Being original, they can tell. The emulsion number of the film was manufactured in '77.
Oh, you go.
Each roll of film that is manufactured has a manufacturing date on it in the emulsion number. This is the shot that I took of the people walking and the bathhouse.
We're building up to the photo.
We zero in here, and this is the same
on.
shot with just the chair. No one sitting in the chair.
No one
so
there
that shows
in
it
this shot.
was not a picture of someone sitting in the chair. This is my son once again blocking the doorway.
Fucking
of course, the picture where I first spotted the silhouette in the doorway.
This is it. This is it. This is the fucking picture right here. Let's just pause on that for one moment. There's no doubt that ain't Elvis, is it? And can I ask you guys, put in the comments, is that Elvis? There's no fucking doubt, surely. Well, he has got his SIDS down about here at that stage, so he's nearly got that whole beard going on. Looking at that, let's have a look. What do people think? Oh, I'm loving the photo. I think he's alive. Check out the member. Yep, Carl Coates, we did that. We might see him walking around Faversham with Bob. Yes, he might be. If anyone named Faversham knows him, it would be Bob. Sir Bob. He'd know him. Or Les at the Matters All. We might know him. He does know a lot of people, Les. He's an interesting fella. Go and have a chat with Les, honestly. He's met a lot of people. We might say, looking out at the fans. He is, Bill, isn't he? I mean, he's looking out. But he ain't just fucking looking at he's like chilling. He's like, yeah, I'm fucking just chilling in my chair, isn't he? Looking at the fans, mooching around my garden, like, you know? He probably wanted to go outside himself. I don't think you're wrong now. He was in self-isolation. Yeah, mate. He knew COVID was... He's a fucking lizard. He's a lizard. Fucking Ike would have him down to lizard. Oh, bloody, I like that one, Bill. Brilliant. Bloody long isolation, 40 years. No, you ain't wrong. But he was growing a beard. Yes, Josh, you're right there. Could be his daughter on a bad hair day. Yes, we haven't even considered that. And she might have just picked up Dad's sunglasses because she thought it was a bit bright. I'm just going to chill out and just put his shades on. So that is the actual picture. Right, so that concludes the first part of the film, which is the evidence based on there. Now, I was lucky enough, the next few clips I've got are about sightings. People witnessed sightings of Elvis, who they proposed to be Elvis. Now, they're not as long as this, so we're probably about, I don't know, what time are we on now? Probably got about 15 minutes to go, 10, 15 minutes. So we're getting there. But, you know, I still want people to reserve judgment on whether they think Elvis is alive or dead. I mean, we've listened to this bit of evidence, but let's listen now and see some actual eyewitness accounts, all right? So, that brings me to the next video clip. Right. This fella here, okay? Let me just take the video back ever so much because it'll give you a date on the timeline now, I believe. Oh, no, it doesn't. It might come up in a minute. But the story behind this one was, and this one is gone quite viral, Bill, so this one is quite an easy one to find. And this guy works at Graceland's, and he's got a fucking beard. He's bearded, and he works at Graceland's. What better way, if Elvis wanted to go underground, right, and end it all, and come away from that public eye and all that bollocks, and actually just go and be a bit normal, he could become a groundsman in his own garden at Graceland with a beard, and no one would ever notice him. So yeah, here we go. This could be Elvis. And listen to the music, it's telling you how serious this shit is. That could be Elvis. There he is. What I don't, mate, what I'm not liking about that video there, right, is the way he's walking towards whoever the fuck is filming him. He's about to knock him out, isn't he? He's like, fucking take the camera off me, I'll do ya. Right, so, potentially, that could be Elvis working in Graceland's. Doing his own gardening. I'll come to the comments in a minute. Right. Oh, here we go. This is him walking back. And look. He's only wearing his own fucking t-shirt. Elvis week. You would, wouldn't you? You would. And if you look at the way he's walking there, there's a bit of his hips. Watch his hips in the way he moves. I'm fucking seeing the swagger there. I'm seeing a bit of Elvis doing the hip thing with his guitar. Jailhouse Rock style. Seriously. Watch them hips. Fucking got it going on. And the way he just bent over and picked up that sort of cable or a hose or whatever, this guy ain't stupid. This guy could be Elvis. And the way he tossed it then like that, he just sort of threw it. I've seen him do that on stage in Vegas on one of his videos. He goes out with the microphone. Very similar. There he goes. Go for that cup of tea in the kitchen at Graceland's. There he goes. Right, now, so in all seriousness, that bit of video right there, when I was looking at videos last night to put together for this, there's quite a few people who visit Graceland and film that same bloke and tell people it's Elvis, it's fucking Elvis, you know what I mean? Oh, so, we're going to come to the comments. Could that be Elvis? That's what people think. Oh, dear. Right, here we go. He was growing a beard. Right, okay. Wait, so this is supposed to be Elvis. It potentially could be, Josh, yes. What the fuck? It could be any old plonker. You aren't wrong, it could be. And Nicolette said, no way, she's not buying this. This ain't fucking Elvis. Dave said it's Kenny Rogers. Coward of the County. You got to learn when to hold 'em. Learn when to fold 'em. We could do a conspiracy theory about Kenny Rogers another day. Oh, definitely Elvis, Josh. See, Bill's sold on it. Bill is not stupid when it comes to conspiracy theories. This man knows his conspiracy theories, and he knows, he can see it's Elvis. It's the hips. I'm telling you, it's the hips. Right, Ash. Hi, Ash. How you doing, mate? All the way from Scotland. I understand it's a drop. The old temperature's going to drop massively next week. But anyway, we go Pat. We're talking Elvis tonight. So what you got to say here, Ash? I've been here for a while, but too busy playing your Xbox. Oh, right. Thank you for the host. That's always appreciated. Thank you very much. Nicolette, no way that's not him. Mate, Josh, just get him to do a DNA test. Oh, fucking hell. You just debunked the whole thing now. You just thrown the whole thing out there. Mate. Oh, I'm sure Elvis' sweat is somewhere left in the house. You've thought about this long and hard, mate. Love a bit of Kenny Rogers. Yeah, you've got it, mate. -5. That's my boyfriend in the future. Mate, you've got to aim high, Ash. And I tell you what, he's looking all right. He's looking all right for an older fella. So there's that first bit of footage. Now the next one is an account from an American lady. And this is very good. And it features a bit of dramatisation.
On August 23rd of 1991, I saw Elvis Presley at Winesburg Inn in Clyde, Ohio.
So, let me translate. She went to somewhere in Ohio, and she saw Elvis Presley. I can tell you, because I have seen bits of the clip, that it was in a restaurant. Here we go.
When we heard Kelly's statement, we sent investigators to Clyde, Ohio, and the location of the sighting, the Winesburg Inn. Kelly Wadsworth is certain that Elvis Presley had dinner there, and she believes that she has the photographs to prove it.
Right, here we go. Someone else with photographic evidence of the king. So, we're asking ourselves now, right, is this photographic evidence? Oh, I hope she sent it to Kodak. And I hope she's wrote a book. Fuck yeah.
On the night of August 23rd, 1991, at approximately 6 p.m., Kelly and her boyfriend observed a man fitting Elvis's description exiting a car that was suspiciously parked in the back of the restaurant.
Suspiciously fitting Elvis's fucking... Suspiciously exiting of a vehicle. Fucking hell.
I said, God, this guy really looks like him. I said, we've got to go home and get the camera and take some pictures. Nobody's going to believe me.
No one's going to believe me. Fuck. Is that Elvis just got out of that motor? Fucking Elvis is in Maggie D's. Shit.
A few minutes later, Kelly returned with the camera.
So hang on. Kelly's got to this restaurant with her fella. I know they said this was 91, but they look like 80s throwbacks, mate. They weren't in the 90s. And she thought she didn't think. She saw Elvis getting out of a motor, with his hair done, and he had the fucking Elvis, the Vegas shades and the Sydney's going on and all that. And he strolled on into the fucking inn, which could be a pub restaurant type place, to go and have a fried squirrel sandwich or whatever he ate. And so she thought, fuck me, I'm going to go home and get my camera. So it took her a few minutes to leave this establishment and go home, get her camera, and then get back in a few minutes. She fucking lived upstairs or next door.
I checked in the lobby. Nobody was there. I looked in the bar side. Nobody was there. And then that's when I spotted him. He was sitting in the restaurant.
That's Elvis sat in a fucking restaurant. Right. Well, he reckons, according to the audio track, he'd grown a fucking beard, lost a few pounds in weight. Well, I'm sorry. Fucking hell. Elvis, that ain't weight loss, my friend. And you certainly ain't got a fucking beard. Look at her face, how excited she is. Fucking, I found Elvis. Oh. Let's go in the comments. Fucking hell. Oh, excuse me, I sound like a fucking pig then. Right, Dave, I'm sold on this. I'll tell you what, mate. I'm beginning to get this bird is selling it to me. I'll tell you, this 80s throwback chick. Fucking hell. He gets about. I'll tell you what, doesn't he just? Doesn't he just? I saw him in Orlando. Yes, Dave, you've been to America a few times. Actually, Nicolette, Josh, we've all seen him too. We were in Vegas and we saw him on the Strip. I don't think it was the real Elvis. And, right, this is probably the best of all. I went to Tunbridge Wells, and I think you were there, Dave. I think it was Kev's Stag Night. And it was a Chinese restaurant in Tunbridge Wells. And the owner, Elvis Chan, got up and done a turn as Elvis. Chinese Elvis, so it wasn't definitely this Elvis. Alright, what else we got? I saw him at the Stumble a few years back. He was a bit thinner then, no? He'd lost a bit of weight. Yeah, it could be in the Stumbling. Oh dear. Dad and Dave saw him in a Chinese. That's true, yes, yes. Cheers, Nick, as I just explained, yeah. Oh dear, oh yes. Dave remembers now. We did. Right, anyway, let's get back to this woman's story, because it's fucking gripped me.
When I took my first picture and the click went off, I shocked.
It burns! It burns! I took my first picture. Fuck hell, poor old Elvis.
The bodyguard ran towards me and then he ran around the side and grabbed the stuff from the table. And then they started running out to the back door. I thought maybe I can get a couple more good shots. What is very strange to me is if this wasn't Elvis, then why was he getting up in a hurry after I took a picture? In fact, the bodyguard even came towards me to keep me from taking another shot.
Who was this man? We do know that he made a reservation under the name of John Burroughs. Besides that, his identity and whereabouts today is unknown.
Right, that concludes that little clip. So, I was a bit shocked at the way Elvis reacted to the camera flash. It was like he was almost being shot with a gun. It was pretty horrendous the way he flew the scene there. But the only thing missing from that clip where she was chasing him around the restaurant with the thing was the Benny Hill theme music. Just to quickly recap. Here we go. So ready? So I want you to watch this, but in your head play the Benny Hill theme music.
When I took my first picture and the click went
Here we go.
off, I shocked him. The bodyguard ran towards me and then he ran around the side and grabbed the stuff from the table.
Look at it,
And
Benny
then
Hill
they
music
started running
now.
out to the back door. I thought maybe I can get a couple more good shots.
Hey.
What is very strange to me.
It was very strange to you. It was very fucking strange to us watching you fucking reaccounting that shit. Oh, what can I say? Well, okay. So that's your first bit of evidence from someone who claims that they had a camera. I fucking went home and got their camera, sorry, and ran back in and started shooting pictures and fucking turned into a scene from Benny fucking Hill. Right, so are you sold on that? Has that helped to sway you one way or another? Okay, gonna go to the comments. Okay, right, yeah, we did. Blinded. Yes, you're right there, Nicolette. Maybe the flash blinded Elvis. And he was so fucking blinded that he was like, ah! That's why he got the scream. Fuck, gotta go specs, he was. You know, right, yeah, blinded. Elvis was pretty fast for the lump, he was. Actually, Josh, you were right. He did fucking fly up there, didn't he? Mate. Mafia boss. Actually, Dave, I think you could be... Yes. There, see? That puts a different spin on this completely. He could have been a mafia boss. And in which case, he was just fucking running from the camera because he didn't want to be recorded because he's a mafia boss. Good spin. I like that. Thought. He could move. He certainly could move. And we ain't just talking his hips, baby. Why didn't they take the camera? Yeah. But the bodyguard was very like that, wasn't he? And she just ran under his arm and carried on chasing them. Who was taking a photo of her? I reckon one of David Icke's lizard people was taking a photo of her. So that concludes the first evidence clip. We've got 2 more to go. So the next one, or is it 1 more? I think there's 1 more. Give me a moment. Yes, there's 1 more clip. And then I'm going to come to you guys and I want you to actually think back. I will recap the evidence portrayed to you guys this evening. And then I want you to make your decision. Is Elvis alive or dead? We'll put it to the vote, alright? But, before we do that, the last bit of footage I have to show you is quite shocking and disturbing. I have warned you, alright? This is some footage taken by a real news network in America. And they claim to have found Elvis, and this is a recent video. They claim to have found Elvis and actually go to see him. And they don't just see him. He actually does a bit of singing for them. And if this doesn't sway your opinion whether Elvis is still alive or not, nothing will.
Hug me, hold me, kiss me, love me. More today than yesterday. Hug me, hold me, kiss me, love me, each and every day, in each and every way. Hug me, hold me.
But in all seriousness, right, don't just look at this thing and think, fuck me, that's just some old dude who's fallen on bad times, right? I know he's got a lot of marks and up his arm, but I suppose if you live in a fucking dustbin, you're going to get a few bruises, ain't you, poor sod, you know what I mean? But look at his face. In all seriousness, look at his face. That could be Elvis.
Kiss me, love me. One day I'll be leaving. I'll be going away. So hug me, hold me, kiss me, love me, till the end of my days.
And listen to his voice. Bear in mind, this Elvis is a lot older. So he's just completely escaped the limelight. He's had a fucking enough of being on Vegas stages and all that old bollocks. And he thought, you know what, I want to fucking end all this. So he's gone. He travelled the world. He grew a beard, as we know from the past evidence. And this man has a beard. He looks well travelled, this man. And he's opted for a far more simpler life. Because he's had everything, Elvis. Bear in mind, I mean, the man had everything. He used to throw gold rings into the crowd and all that old shit, mate. He's had everything. Now he's experiencing life for real. And But listen to the voice and look at his face. Seriously, there's something in this.
Hug me and love me till the end of my days. Hold me and love me till the end of my days. Kiss me and love me till the end. Is it? Of my days. Hug me and kiss me for the rest of my
Big finish, big finish.
days.
Yeah. So, that brings us to the question. The big question. We've seen the evidence. We've heard from the professionals. We've had it laid out to us. So now, the only question left for you at home, watching now, is Elvis alive or dead? But before you give you your answers, I'm just going to go out the comments and then we're just going to quickly recap everything and then we'll get your answers. So, definitely Elvis, I'm with you. That's Elvis, I'm sold. I like the track marks. Yeah, he's yeah, okay. He's had some hard years, but he's got a good looking beard now. It took him a long time to get that beard. There he is. Yay, Art James. I'm glad you liked it, buddy. He's let himself go a bit. Do you think? I think he looks all right. I don't think he's done too bad. Put your glasses on, Rob. Mate, you're thinking, oh, when you're not thinking that's Elvis. Oh, man, I'm surprised. I have what he's having. Yeah. Well travelled from bin to bin. Yeah. Where have you been? That brings a new thing on it. You're right, this is disturbing. Yes. So, a recap for you all. So we had on board the photograph of Elvis at Gracelands, sitting in sort of, I can assume his living room or his kitchen, his dinette, whatever he's out there, just chilling, shades, big sort of beardy bit going here, just needed this bit, and it was definitely Elvis. So there's definitely photographic evidence of Elvis sat in Gracelands watching people walk around, right? So that was, let's be honest, and we're all 90% sold that that was a real image of Elvis. Then we had the voice where he'd left that message, talking to the people, telling the people, you know, oh, it's really hard. I'm traveling a lot, and I'm growing a big old beard, and that's the hardest part of my life now, is growing a beard. But I'm well travelled, and I'm growing a beard. And he said that was his biggest struggle, was growing a beard. And the voice recognition expert listened to a lot of Elvis talk, and he concluded it was definitely Elvis talking. Then, what else did we have? We had the handwriting. Elvis had taken out insurance premiums on himself and went and claimed on them, and he signed them. But then, the signature and all the text matched brilliantly. So that was your next bit of evidence. And then we've got afterwards the people that have seen and met Elvis since his death and have disturbing eyewitness accounts. You had the guy who, with a beard, again a beard, was working at Gracelands, okay, doing the maintenance, ground maintenance. Then we had that woman who disturbingly only went to go to that inn to have, I don't know, a beer or two or a bite to eat, and then quite disturbingly we saw how she was not attacked but villainised by Elvis's own security as they scrambled to get the camera from her, but she dodged artfully between them all and got them disturbing photos of the King of Rock and Roll. And then finally we have this gentleman here presented to us. It could be Elvis. Got a good voice, grown a beard as evidenced earlier. Could well be Elvis. And this, I don't know which news network found this, obviously some American or Canadian station, and they've gone and found this guy because it's been reported he's an Elvis lookalike or whatever, and people honestly believe that could be Elvis. So I'm passing it over to you guys now. I'm going to catch up on the comments. Elvis, all I want from you is it definitely Elvis or is it definitely not Elvis? Is Elvis alive or dead? Please vote now, people. Right, okay, here we go. You're right, that is well travelled from being. You're right, it's shit, I've spent all this time thinking you were talking about Elvis Costello. Shit. But hey, we're talking about Elvis Presley, baby, the king of rock and roll. Him with the hippie chic. Very good. Right, who else we got? My conclusion is he's dead, unfortunately. Okay, Josh believes Elvis is dead. Even though we've given him all this evidence, all this solid evidence, he still believes Elvis is dead. My conclusion is dead, unfortunately. Okay, Josh. Nah, mate, he's right here. Thank you. James believes that Elvis is living. That's good. Nicolette, he died too young, so I'd like to think he's alive and living, looking out of his patio doors in Gracelands. I'm now leaving the building. Oh! She's on fire. That's a good one. Elvis has left the building. I like that. Brilliant. Sorry, mate, he's dead. He loved the fame, and rightly so. What a voice. Who is he? I'm too young. Right, well, now my opinion, based on all that solid evidence, I can honestly say, as a matter of fact, 100% guaranteed, Elvis is dead. I'm sorry, Bill. I'm sorry, Bill. I know it goes against all of our principles and conspiracy theorems and stuff, but I'm sorry, this poor sod here at the end, he's just fallen on hard times. That ain't bloody Elvis. Some fucking clown at the TV studios believed some clown who's reported it and only gone and wasted time. Someone's been paid to go and find him and do that. I hope they gave him his wages, mate. That's all I can say. The woman who was claiming to run around the restaurant being chased while people were taking photos of Elvis, I don't know, she looked like a wannabe porn actress to me after a bit of publicity. That brings us to the old boy who works at Memphis. He's just generally a groundsman. He's just got a beard and he's just fucking, you know what I mean, doing his thing. So, unfortunately, that's that. And as for all the evidence, the Kodak video, the photos, they're all a load of old bollocks, mate. Some old clown just fucking at Kodak. I'm sorry, Nick, I know you used to work for Kodak, but some clown at Kodak just said, yeah, that's a genuine photo. Mate, sorry, I believe Elvis is dead, but if you don't believe he's dead, that's fine, that's your belief. You've all watched the video, we can all come to our own conclusions. So on that note, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in this evening. If you've got any suggestions or ideas for other future conspiracy theories or things we can cover, subjects, topics, etc., then I'll be happy to know. Please let me know. And equally, if you haven't already done so, hit that follow button. Give me a follow, please. It's always appreciated. And I will upload this video to my Facebook page, to my YouTube channel. And we'll throw it out there. Let's let Joe Public see what they think. But anyway, it's a good night from me. It's a good night from all of you. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and giving me your time tonight. I think the next one we've got suggested is anyone. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Nick. I did find it quite amusing myself. I did get quite hysterical at one point. So if anyone's got any suggestions or etc., then please do shout them out. Let me know. And I know Bill gave me another suggestion, which is a very good one, Bill, and I will be looking into that because it's another one I've also had raised, but spoken of. Someone spoke to me about it, so it's been suggested on 2 occasions. So that'd be quite a good one. And that boy can chat, can't he? Just hey, that's my mum popped in. How are you, Madge? Nice for you to pop in. Did you see the whole thing? Just to quickly get you an image of Elvis as he is today. There you go, Mum. That is Elvis. Mum loved Elvis, and there he is, Mum. That's how he's turned out. I still think he's got that Elvis look about him. He has got something going on. The other one, Bill, was your one about a certain a pop group from the 1960s and a certain member of that pop group. We won't say on here, so don't shout it out, Bill. Okay, so thank you all. If you haven't pressed our follow button, please do, because I appreciate follows from everybody. And it's great to have you all on board. Until the next time, which will be next week. I'll do another one next week. And, yeah, Bill, you remember now. And I might be covering that subject next week, okay? It's about another pop star. But instead of being reported as being dead, and we still think they're alive, they've actually been reported as being dead when they are actually still alive. If that makes sense. Until next time, I'd like to thank you all for coming along. See you then. Hit that follow button. I've been OG Duffy. Out. Laters. Cheers.